Hey warriors, listen closely. When people play dirty, most make one fatal mistake. They react emotionally, or they cling to morality in a game that was never clean to begin with. And that is exactly how they lose. This world does not punish manipulation. It punishes naivety. The truth is uncomfortable, yet it is necessary. The people who keep getting outplayed are not stupid. They are principled without strategy, honest without awareness, decent in environments that reward perception, timing, and leverage. This is where Machiavelli comes in. Machiavelli was not teaching cruelty. He taught clarity. He taught awareness. He understood what most people still resist today. Power does not announce itself. Manipulation rarely looks aggressive. Danger rarely raises its voice. Look closely at those who play dirty. They do not rush. They do not explode. They smile. They wait. They let you assume good intentions, while silently, they study your reactions. They know something you were never trained to see. They understand that people reveal themselves without asking. Through explanations, emotional reactions, the desire to be liked or seen as fair. Centuries ago, Machiavelli observed the fastest way to lose power. Assume everyone plays by your rules. But dirty players bend the context quietly. They do not attack your strength. They position around your expectations. They exploit hesitation. They rely on your belief that things will work themselves out. And they win while you are still deciding how to respond properly. This video is not about becoming heartless. It is not about lying, cheating, or becoming what you hate. It is about thinking clearly when others would like you to be blind. Refusing to acknowledge manipulation does not make you noble. It makes you predictable. Survival in hostile environments requires perception before morality. Not the abandonment of values, but the protection of them. If someone is playing dirty, it is not because they are superior. It is because they understand timing, psychology, and human weakness better than you have been taught. Once you see what they see, you stop reacting. You stop explaining. You stop bleeding energy into spaces where it is harvested. And you begin to move differently. In this video, I will break down 7 Machiavellian principles. They will teach you how to think when others play dirty. Not to dominate, not to destroy, but to become mentally unreachable. Stay with me. By the end, you will not feel angrier. You will feel calmer, more grounded, and far harder to manipulate. Before we begin, commit this affirmation to the mind. I choose awareness over reaction. 1. Stop assuming intentions. Start reading incentives. Most people try to understand others by asking a dangerous question. What do they mean? Machiavelli would say that question is useless. Meaning is invisible. Incentives are not. When someone plays dirty, They do not wake up thinking, "How can I be evil today?" They think, "What benefits me right now?" That difference matters more than morality ever will. The fastest way to get manipulated is analyzing people through intention instead of advantage. You look at tone. You measure consistency. You seek sincerity. Meanwhile, they measure outcomes. They track leverage, timing, and access. This mismatch is where control shifts. Behavior follows reward, not virtue. People repeat what works. They abandon what costs them. They justify everything in between. Consider this. Someone consistently apologizes, but keeps violating boundaries. Are they bad? No. They are calculating consequences. They see the reward in keeping you reactive, while you assume goodwill. Stop asking, "Why did they do this?" Start asking, "What do they gain if I believe this?" This cuts through performance. If they benefit from your patience, they encourage it. If they benefit from confusion, they will sustain it. Patterns emerge quickly. You notice who cooperates only when watched, who becomes vague when accountability approaches, who invokes morality when convenient. None of this requires confrontation. It requires observation without commentary. Stoic reflection. I see things as they are, not as I wish them to be. Detach from moral narratives. Focus on reality. Patience is not weakness, it is clarity. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I read incentives, not stories. 2. Control access before outcomes. Most people try to fix situations from the wrong level. They focus on results. They argue decisions. They negotiate conclusions. Machiavelli would say they are already late. Real influence is established at the level of access. Dirty players understand this instinctively. They decide who gets proximity, who gets information, who gets emotional entry. Once those gates are set, outcomes follow naturally. The mistake many make is assuming presence equals participation. They stay involved out of habit, politeness, or fear. Being available keeps them exposed. Access is currency. Every interaction reveals tone, timing, stress points, and patterns. Control access deliberately. Introduce friction. Shorten exchanges. Normalize selectivity. Stoic reflection. I am the master of my presence, not a servant to others' expectations. Presence must be intentional. Emotional entry is more precious than information. Guard it like your greatest asset. Drop this affirmation. My presence is intentional. 3. Let others reveal themselves while you stay unfinished. Humans have an urge to complete interactions, to finish conversations, to resolve tension. This impulse is a liability. Dirty players exploit it. They provoke just enough tension to trigger your need for resolution. Once that need activates, you begin offering clarity, reassurance, explanation. not because it benefits you, but because uncertainty feels uncomfortable. Staying unfinished keeps control mobile. Others speak more. They adjust impulsively. They attempt to steer outcomes. Machiavelli valued delayed clarity. One incident reveals nothing. Repetition reveals everything. Stoic reflection, I am content in incompleteness, for it allows wisdom to gather. Resist closure. Preserve flexibility. Drop this affirmation. I don't rush closure. 4. Neutrality is camouflage. Emotion is a beacon. It signals where others can strike. Dirty players hunt reaction points, not honesty. Every visible shift frustration, excitement, defensiveness is a guide. Neutrality functions like camouflage. Measured response preserves power. Stoic reflection, I respond with intention, not impulse. Caring deeply does not mean broadcasting. Emotional containment keeps clarity intact. Drop this affirmation. I keep my reactions private. 5. Remove yourself from linear thinking. Conflict is rarely straight line. Cause does not always equal effect. Dirty players operate in layers. While you react to the surface, they manipulate context. Non-linear responses disrupt momentum. Adaptation exposes intention. Stoic reflection, I see the whole board, not just the move in front of me. Respond laterally. Shift conditions. Control perspective. Drop this affirmation. I think in layers, not lines. 6. Master the art of strategic absence. Presence is valuable. Constant availability dilutes authority. Distance amplifies attention. Scarcity creates leverage. Strategic absence is deliberate. Step out of view without drama. Trigger subtle imbalance. Observe patterns you could not see when embedded. Stoic reflection, I own my space and time, and by withdrawing I increase my influence. Drop this affirmation. I control my presence and absence. 7. Control the frame before outcomes. Weak people lose because they accept others' frames. Who defines the context controls perception. Perception shapes judgment. Own the frame. Move consistently. Silence reframes faster than words. Composure collapses opposition. Stoic reflection, I shape meaning around me, not react to meaning imposed on me. Drop this affirmation. I control the frame before the outcome. Conclusion, you have now seen what most avoid their entire lives. Not tricks. Not surface tactics. But the architecture beneath power. Strength is not loud. Control is not frantic. Dominance does not beg recognition. It waits. Power is clarity. Knowing when to step forward. When to disappear. When to speak. When to let silence do the work. Some will feel uncomfortable around you. not because you changed toward them, but because you changed away from their control. Power is not cruelty. It is clarity. It is positioning. It is evolution. Drop this final affirmation. I rise by positioning, not proving. You are no longer playing the same game as everyone else. You are writing the rules.